about presentations, how to introduce ourselves more than presentations. We talked about how to introduce ourselves, and it was like a great success. But I understand that many people are, busy because of work, because of studies, etc. Yeah, Elva is joining us as well. So let's start. Yeah, Hector, I need your participation because we are not many people yet.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, good. Okay, Hector, so, well, as I was telling you, on our first session, we talked about how to introduce ourselves, because the idea of this series of workshops is to help you gain the basic knowledge on how to improve certain skills when you are writing an email in a formal way, and see differences between informal and formal registers. And the same happens when we speak. Depending on the person we speak to, we speak in different ways. I don't think that you speak the same way to your friends than to a professor, for example, who is older than you. So today, in particular, we're going to focus on emails, right? And I will show you the objectives of today's class. I'm sorry. The first objective, Hector, is to talk about emails. We're going to ask and answer some questions. Yeah, I will ask you some questions and you will answer me and we will discuss. The second objective is to learn how to say email addresses correctly, which may sound very basic, but sometimes if we don't know how to pronounce or how to say one symbol, we may misunderstand the email address and lose the contact. So it's very important to know how to say and understand email addresses. The third point today will be the subject and the subject line, the importance of the subject line. Okay, Elva, yeah, don't worry. Then when you write an email, the purpose, the audience, and the language, the importance of these three areas, how we can start and finish emails, organizing the email, things we should do and things we shouldn't do. Last but not least, the importance of proofreading, and finally, a little bit of practice. Okay, so how does it look, Hector? Good? Are you prepared?
Good, really well.
Yes?
I'm not sure, but
okay.
Let's try.
Okay, let's try. Why not? That's why you're here. Okay, so part 2, English for emails. The first question that I would like to ask you, Hector, is if you know how to write and say email addresses.
Well, to be honest, I don't know, but I usually write
Okay.
emails in English. So I guess I am doing a relatively good job, but I'm not sure. I will see after this class. I will see if I was right or not.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that you are, because your English is rather good. Okay, I think that someone else is joining the class. Silvio? Yes, Silvio. Let's ask Silvio. Silvio, can you hear us? Silvio, hi, welcome. I don't know if you can hear us well. All right, maybe Silvio is still connecting. All right, well. And Hector, well, just to make sure that, this is a very, very basic question. Can you give me an example of an email address? An email address, perhaps your email address is not appropriate because, we are recording, but any email address. You can invent one.
Any email address?
Any email address.
H.Montes. I don't know how to say arroba.
Okay, all right.
But
okay, that's good.
Gmail.com.
Very good. Okay, perfect. Silvio, I don't know if you can hear us. Can you hear us?
Yes.
We know that you can. Yes, Silvio, good. Okay, how are you? Good. Silvio, you are out in space.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, that's good. It's fine. I love your background. I love it.
I'm astronomer.
No, it's fine, Silvio. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Chile.
From Chile, right? And are you a student, undergraduate, postgraduate?
I'm a graduate student, postgraduate student.
Graduate. Okay. What are you studying?
Astronomy.
Astronomy. Okay, well.
Yeah.
I sort of understand why you
Yeah,
have the background you have.
I give talks with this background.
All right. Okay. Hector, I didn't ask you what you do.
I'm doing the PhD in mining engineering.
Mining engineering. Okay, right. So we have someone from astronomy and another person from mining engineering, and Elva who comes from the language area. Great. Silvia, we are asking and answering some questions, okay? So the second question says, do you think because the topic is emails, right? Do you think the subject line is important and why? What do you think, Silvia and Hector? When you write an email, do you think the subject line is important? The subject line is like the title of the email.
Yeah, no, I know. I think, of course, because it's the first thing that the people see. And I don't know, if you put spam, nobody will read it.
Yeah, of course. Right.
So,
Hector, do you agree?
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it is very important.
So when you write an email, how much time do you spend thinking about the subject line? Do you think carefully before writing, or it depends on the day, depends on the urgency?
First, I write the email, and after that, I wrote the subject line. Because
very good.
Depending on what I wrote in the email.
Exactly, depending on the body. Hector, what about you?
Same strategy. First, I write the email, and then I figure out how to write a good subject.
Great, very good. All right. Third question for you. How do you usually start an informal or formal email? I mean, not the body. Remember that this is basic knowledge to start writing an email. But for example, I have to write to a professor at MIT. Okay. So what is the first thing? How do you name the person? Dear, hello.
Dear prof. Dot the last name. No, yeah, the last name.
Last name. Okay. Hector?
It depends. For example, at work, I usually use hello or something like that. But if it's something more formal, I use dear, more structure. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So it's like these formulas that we learn when we learn, English in general, right? Okay, good. Next question. How do you finish an informal or formal email? Like, how do you close it? You say, bye-bye, see you soon, have a nice day, thank you very much. Hector, let's start with you now.
The typical is best regards or regards or
even if it's informal. For example, if you're writing to a friend, a classmate.
No. Then I can write a funny.
Okay, you can choose them. All right. Another type of ending. Okay, or perhaps an emoji. Yeah, Silvia, you?
Formal or informal?
Give us examples of both, please.
Oh, well, I have never write an email, an informal email to someone in English.
Because, I imagine because of your studies, right?
Yeah, but in a formal way, depending on what I'm writing, because I don't know, if I am asking for help or something, I finish with thank you for your time. I understand. And if it's, I don't know, for other topic or for another reason, greetings. Oh, have a nice day.
Right,
I don't know.
Greetings, have a nice day. Okay, great. Constanza is joining us as well. All right, so we will welcome her, Constanza Urbina. Okay, next question. Do you think it's rude Remember that rude. Hello, Constanza. Welcome. How are you? Can you hear us?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Constanza. Can you tell us a little bit about you? I mean, what are you studying?
I'm studying climatology.
Interesting.
I'm
Okay. Postgraduate or undergraduate?
Yeah. No, I'm finishing a master in meteorology and
Right.
climatology.
Very good. Thank you very much for joining us. Very glad to see you. Okay, next question then says, do you think it's rude, impolite to use capital letters in emails? What's your opinion? Capital letters in emails. It depends. We should use them.
It depends.
It depends on what, Hector?
It depends. Sometimes you want to highlight some part of the email, and using capital letters is a good way. Of course, you don't have to abuse of the capital letters.
Of course, like overusing them is not recommended. Silvio,
Exactly.
what's your opinion? Thank you very much, Hector.
You're referring to all the word in capital letters, or the first, the beginning of a word?
Both. Like writing each starting with a capital letter, or and writing a word or a couple of words, each letter in capital letters.
Oh, no. At least not all the word, but the beginning of the word. When I began a paragraph, I use a capital letter, but only in that case, or after a dot.
All right. Okay. Constanza, in your opinion?
I think it's rude. Use the capital letters. I think that if you want to have emphasis in some phrase, you can use the option to the bold,
underline, maybe.
Maybe underline or bold.
Letters in bold. Yeah, letters in bold or maybe underline. All right, very good, very interesting.
But capital letters, it's like they are yelling at you.
Okay, so you try to avoid them. Okay, interesting. And the last question says, before sending an email, and I think that this is the most important question, before sending an email, do you read it to check everything is fine? Do you usually do it? Do you sometimes do it? You never do it? You always do it?
My answer
yes.
Always make me check the email more than once.
More than once. Okay, good. Silvio?
I always put my email in DeepL.com. So I trust in DeepL.
You trust in DeepL? Okay, you trust DeepL.
Yeah.
Don't you use any?
I wrote it. Put it in DeepL if I'm right or not. Also, I have Grammarly, and I use Grammarly to correct my emails. But yes.
All right. Hector.
It depends. If it's an important email, I check it like 3 times.
I check it.
If it's something more casual or less important, I just send it.
And it also depends on how sure you are about what you have written, right? Because sometimes, I don't know, if you have to send an email about a very specific topic or subject, perhaps you are more careful about sending it, or if it's, I don't know, a work email or something related to a project, I think that you spend more time than checking an email that you're sending to a friend. You see? Rocio is joining us. Rocio, hello. Good evening. Can you hear us?
Hi.
Hi, Rocio. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Can you tell us what do you do?
What I study?
Yes.
Industrial engineering.
Industrial engineering. Rocio, and are you an undergraduate or a graduate student?
Graduate.
Graduate student. All right. Welcome. All right, guys. So first things first, we had some questions with Hector about how to say email addresses correctly. The thing is, if we're talking about emails, it is like essential to know how to write emails and how to understand emails. And we need to know how you say each one of the symbols. So basic knowledge, remember that this is basic. This symbol is pronounced at. Okay, that is a pronunciation, at. And this symbol in emails is pronounced dot. Okay, dot. For example, this email is read as reservations at IBIS or IBIS hotels.fr, right? So at and dot. This symbol here is called underscore. And this one here is called a hyphen. So for example, this email is engineers_Chile or CHILE at utile.cl. And this email here is booking-lima at gmail.com. Okay? So here we have a list. Here we have a list of 7 emails. 7 emails, all right? So since we are not many people, we are people, we are a good group, 7 people, 8 people, I would like to ask you to read one email, one by one, okay? Just to practice. This is just practice, okay? So maybe Silvio, would you like to start?
But I spell letter by letter, or?
No, you can say B.
Leclerc?
Yeah. Leclerc, right.
Okay. B. Leclerc at sbb.fr.
Right. So what happens is that if you are given a name, for example, or a surname that is in another language, I don't know, a Chinese name, I don't know, a Swedish surname, spelling is essential. And that is why last class, in the previous session, we talked about the importance of spelling. Because when you are, talking to someone, or when you want to give your email address, understanding spelling and spelling words correctly is key, right? Because if you're meeting, I don't know, you know someone in a meeting, in a conference, etc., well, you need to understand emails correctly, right? In this case, Leclerc, perhaps for us, is easy because we understand that it's French, right? Leclerc, okay, perhaps, how do you spell Leclerc? How do you spell Leclerc, Silvia? I didn't understand. I don't know if it's an A or an E.
Leclerc.
Very good. Thank you very much.
I think it's like
or Leclerc, perhaps. Okay. Thank you very much. Constanza, number 2.
Number 2 is Nicolas at smart sat.s.
Constanza, is it Nicolas with a C or with a K?
With a K.
With a K. Thank you very much. Hernan. Hector. No, it's not Hector, right?
Right, no problem.
Yeah, because you make me, you confuse me because it's H.
Why?
And there are many names with H.
Don't worry. Yeah, so the third one is jeremy.smith at hanson.co.uk.
Very good. Thank you very much. I think that we have one more person. Christian, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Christian. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Very good. And you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Christian, can you please tell us a little bit about you? Are you a student? What are you studying?
Oh, well, yeah, I am a student from the computer science department. I am in 4th year at the university.
So you're an undergraduate student.
Exactly.
Good. Thank you very much for joining us today. Rocio, please, your turn. Rocio, number 4, is it?
Yes. Is Tom 74 at cargo.se.
Very good. So if the person doesn't understand how to write Tom, how to write cargo, for example, you can always ask, how do you spell cargo? K-C-A-E, etc.
A-R-G-O.
Very good. .se. Christian, please, number 5. Can you please give us this email address?
Yes. Tariq at cenen.af.
In this case, I'm not very sure about how to write Tariq. Christian, can you please spell the email?
Yes. T-A-R A
I?
no oh, I and Q.
Q, good. And then?
At Cenen. SININ.AF.
Remember there is E. Yeah, S-E-N-E-N.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes. Very
Sorry.
good. All right. Don't worry. Vowels are difficult. We always get confused between I, A, E, etc.
Yes.
Silvio, back to you. Number 6.
L.bata at bata.jp.
Right. So in this case, Silvia, I'm not very sure about bata because I don't know if it's bata, if it's vata, is it a B, a V, a T, a D?
No.
Can you please spell it?
B-A-T-A.
Very good. Right. Last class, you see, in the previous session, we talked about how to pronounce certain consonants in English. For us, I mean, that we speak Spanish, it's difficult to pronounce the difference between B and V. It's important, yeah, especially when you are spelling something. Good, and you know, of course, that the last letters of emails show the domain, right? For example, this is France, Spain, United Kingdom, Sweden, Japan, etc. And the last one, Rocio, please, last email. Can you please tell us this email?
Sure. It's MUNIRKHAN@gmail.com.
Right. So when you have gmail.com, okay, it's easier, right? Very good. Okay. So let's move on. We said at the beginning that before starting an email or before we start writing an email, we should ask ourselves at least, okay? These may be like more questions, but at least the following questions. The first question is the purpose, okay? What are the key points you want to get across in your email, okay? This is essential, okay? Because this will determine in a way the language you use, the length of your email, etc. The second question is the subject line. Silvio gave us a perfect definition of what the subject line is. Silvio, can you please remind us of what the subject line is? What is the subject line? You gave us the perfect definition. It's like the definition of a subject line.
I don't remember.
Okay, I'm going to go fast forwards.
No, I don't remember. I mean, I don't remember the exact words.
Okay,
but after I wrote all the body of the email, I read it again, and I make the the best choice to have a subject line.
Exactly. The subject line is like the title of the email, right? It's the first thing the reader sees, and that is why it's so important, okay? Next thing that you need to ask yourselves is, who is your audience? Is it a professor? For example, Silvia talked about professors. Is it a friend? Is it a colleague? Is it someone you don't know? Maybe you want to write an email to a university. Maybe you are writing to a company. Maybe you are writing etc. Right? So who is your audience? And the last question is language, depending on whether is this, email, the email you will write, a formal or an informal one. What type of language should I use? Should I use long and complex sentences or simple, short sentences? Okay, so these are the basic questions you need to ask yourselves very quickly in your mind before you start writing an email. Sorry, any questions? If you have any questions, please raise your hands or talk to me, ask me. No questions up to now? Cristian, Rocio, Constanza?
No.
Hector? No, not yet.
No,
Okay.
so far so good.
Very good. So the first question that we answered at the beginning in the short speaking activity that we had is, why do you think the subject line is important? Or do you think the subject line is important? And Silvio, I will ask you to help me. Can you please read the first thing that it says there?
Okay. The subject line is a separate space of an email that indicates the topic of the email. The title.
Right, the title. Very good. Hector, please.
Why is it so important? Because it's the first thing that someone else sees.
Right. So Silvio mentioned that, for example, if you write a subject line that has too many emojis, for example, or too many exclamation marks, or words that are suspicious, for example, I don't know, see this urgently, open the email, the first thing that we will think about, okay, this is a spam, or this is a virus. So that is why subject lines are so important, because depending on how catchy the subject line is, or how good it is, we will open the email faster, or perhaps we will delete it, okay? Especially when you are writing to someone you don't know, right? You are looking for jobs, for example, you're looking for a job, so you need a good subject line. Rocio, please, can you continue?
The third one?
Yes.
Shorter is better. No more than 9 words and 60 characters. Keep it short and clear.
Exactly. So a very long title, a very long subject line is not really recommended. Okay, Cristian, please, the next one. Sorry, punctuation.
Oh, okay. Limit punctuation. Too many punctuation marks can make your email look like spam, especially if you use a lot of special characters.
Exactly, a lot of special characters. I think this is the penultimate or the last one, and emojis. Yeah, be careful with emojis. Rocio, can you please read that one?
Use emojis carefully, no more than 1 emoji at a time.
Yeah. Many companies, I've seen that they use, for example, work emails, they use emojis in a very strategic way. You can use a flag, for example, to signal that the email is important. You can use an exclamation mark, right? When you know the person, say that the email is urgent or is, I don't know, in order to highlight it in some or other way. But we need to be careful with this. Who is missing? Constanza, please, last one.
Use emojis to supplement words rather than replace them.
Exactly. All right. So let's look at some examples of good subject lines, okay? In formal contexts, of course, we're not talking about informal emails, but formal ones. For example, the first one says request for meeting. You see, it's very short, to the point, and then you write the name of the person you are writing to. Next example says invitation to attend, and you write the name of the event. Invitation to attend conference, for example, seminar, workshop. Proposal for, and the name of your project. Follow up regarding topic of discussion. Or maybe if you are in a PhD program or you are doing your master's degree, you're writing to your professor, and this is the last email you are sending to your professor after working in your dissertation. You say submission. of, and then the thesis, the dissertation, etc., etc. I think that a good exercise is to use artificial intelligence, and you can ask artificial intelligence to give you examples. Rocio, please.
How should it be for job application if I want to send my resume?
You can say, for example, you can write the job position you are applying to, maybe, and your email. Sorry, your name, or CV attached, something very short. Maybe the position you are applying to and your name.
But
it could be an idea.
Applying for this position,
No.
let's say data
Perhaps,
analyst.
for example, data analyst or data analyst. I don't know, data analyst, and then hyphen and your name, or data analyst position, data analyst.
Okay.
You see, but something short. I wouldn't write something very long, so that the person knows that you are applying to that position, because maybe in the company they have different positions or different posts. I don't know if anybody has experience writing emails, applying for jobs. If you can tell us what you have done.
Me, but I previously talked with the person, so.
Okay, you knew the person.
Or I was I saw in like in a in a web page with the posting information, and I replied through the web page.
So, good. Hector, I don't know, do you have any experience applying? I mean, online?
Sure.
Yeah, and what have you written? Bad or good?
No, bad experiences.
Bad experiences. Okay, so let's skip
the subject is just a short one. It depends.
A short one, yeah.
Exactly. For example, I don't know. I have written, for example, looking for a job opportunity in a specific subject, or
right,
or something about checking my resume, etc. Things like that.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just thinking about it, because it really depends on the company. I think that the best idea before sending the email, Rocio, is to do a little bit of research. What type of company it is? Is it a big company, a small company? Who is the human resources manager, for example? And depending on that information, choose the correct words or choose the correct subject line. Because it's not the same writing to a huge company such as, I don't know, Google, for example, than writing to a entrepreneur or to a venture, you see. I think that you need to do a little bit of research first, but as Hector says, I will write something short and to the point. I will write the name of the position and your name, maybe. That's what I would do. I don't know if because I don't have any experience doing this, you see. I should know about this, but it's a good question. Something short. All right. Let's move on and think about the beginning and ending of the email, because we already talked about the subject line, the title of the email. How can I start and finish my emails? The first thing you need to consider is, and this is key, is my email formal or informal? And writing a formal email is absolutely different from writing an informal one. And sometimes emails are neither formal nor informal, and you need to keep a tone which is neutral, okay? The same thing you do when you speak to someone. When you're speaking to someone, it's not the same as speaking to a friend than speaking to a colleague you don't know very much, or a professor you respect a lot, okay? So when you write an email, knowing how to write a formal or an informal email is essential. The second thing is having basic knowledge about layout and punctuation. And the last thing is, what type of phrases can I use to start and to finish my emails, okay? So Let's think of examples for formal emails. Christian, please, can you read some example, most common examples of formal emails?
Okay, an email to a customer, a job application, an email to your manager, a complaint to a shop, an email from one company to another company, etc.
Etc. Or Rocio's example. Yeah, you're looking for a job. Yeah, you're looking for a position. And this is a formal example. Yeah, not informal. What about informal emails, Rocio?
Most complex example, birthday greeting to a colleague, an email to a colleague with who is also a friend. I have the
the camera.
Yeah, and a social invitation to a friend to at your workplace, etc.
Etc. Well, there are many other examples. Okay. Why is it important to think about the level of formality of your email? Because many people make mistakes writing emails that are too casual or too formal. So being too casual is a mistake, and being too formal is a mistake too. Silvio, can you tell us why?
Well, being too casual is often seen as a mistake, but stiff, formal language can also be detrimental to your message.
So what is the solution according to many pages, right? According to many things that I read, the key, and this is very similar to conversation, to spoken English, the key to find the perfect balance between formal and casual is thinking about the relationship between yourself and the recipient, and take social cues as your communication progresses. So imagine that you are writing to a professor for the first time. Okay, you don't know, maybe you don't know how old he is or she is. You don't know very much. The only thing you know that is an academic. Okay, I will start by writing an email that is formal, not very formal, but formal. So I would say, for example, dear Professor, I don't know, Ulloa, for example. Okay, or dear Professor Montes. I will write something that is to the point, using very specific vocabulary. I will be very careful with capital letters. I wouldn't use capital letters, for example, in one word, in every single word, or in every single letter in a word. And I will end my message with something like best regards. Once the professor answers you, you will understand the tone in which this person is answering you. Why am I telling you this, Constanza? I saw your hand. Because when I studied abroad, I remember that I sent an email to a professor, and I was very formal first. And then he answered me with a hello. Instead of saying, dear Amber, he said, hello, Amber. So I knew automatically that he was changing the tone from a formal tone to a more informal one. So from that point to the future, the communication changed in a way. But I had other professors, or in England, they are not called professors. They don't like being called professors. They like being called tutors, you see? So from that point onwards, I mean, with one of the tutors, it was Jane as well. Hello, Jane. No, hello, Professor Jones, which for me was weird. Constanza, please tell us.
Yeah, I have a problem with the dear, for example, dear Amber, dear something, because the translation to Spanish is too
like too close.
Yes, it's like I don't know, but it's weird. So I'm never sure when to use dear, or if I don't use dear, then I say hello, or what?
I think, Constanza, we will see this, right? But in English, it's different. It's different because I think that everyone speaks Spanish in this virtual classroom. I think that the best translation in emails is like estimado, estimada, more than querido, querida, right? But in English, dear is used both in neutral and formal emails. Because saying, for example, dear Miss Urbina is more formal than dear Constanza. And both are correct, you see? Both are correct, but they are not informal, they are formal. More formal, less formal. And informal would be hello, Constanza, hi, Constanza, greetings. That would be informal. But it's absolutely fine. I mean, dear is formal, not informal. I wouldn't say that it's informal. Okay, good question. Okay, guys, so when you don't know if it's a formal or an informal email, try to keep the balance. Do not be very informal. Do not be very formal, okay? Balance. Okay, punctuation. I'm not going to teach you, all the rules of punctuation, but just the basic one to start and finish emails. When you start an email, you normally write a comma after the opening phrase. In Spanish, what do we write? We write a colon, right? Not a comma. Now people are using commas more frequently, but we usually write a comma in English. Now, when you finish the email, you write another comma. I will show you examples. And the colon is used in very formal emails. You see that in Spanish is different because we usually use colons. This is a colon. We usually use colons, but in English, colons are very formal. So stick to the comma. I will use commas. Hector, questions? Cristian, Rocío, Constanza, Silvio? No questions yet?
I'm fine.
Okay.
No questions.
Let's look at some examples. Sorry. Rocío?
Yeah, the question was about like if it is formal to shorten the, I don't know how you call when you don't say cool like cannot and you say can't. Like it's
okay.
sort of,
Contractions.
Contraction. So contraction are informal?
Strictly speaking, when you are writing a formal email, you should try to use full forms. Full forms.
And
right now, contractions are not essentially bad. I mean, if you write a formal email with a can't, for example, it's not bad. It's not wrong. But we should keep full forms anyway.
Yeah, like cannot and...
Yeah, cannot is different because cannot is like you emphasize more the negation. But I will be careful with abbreviations, for example. I don't know, if you say, let me see, Mo, at the Mo, and we will see an example like this, at the Mo. Mo is moment. So I wouldn't write at the Mo. I would say currently, for example.
No, I'm talking about contraction.
Contractions, yeah.
Contraction, sorry. When we say things like could not or couldn't or...
I don't think that they are bad. No, it's not inappropriate.
Or like with the negation.
With the negation, I wouldn't say that is bad. I mean, contractions are used in both formal and informal emails.
But not for, because I think another abbreviation like ASAP are like common.
Common, but we shouldn't overuse them as well.
Okay. Yeah, so, no, I was talking about like the negation and contraction.
Yeah, you were talking about contractions. No, but that's a great question. I don't think that there is a problem with contractions. I think that the key here is keeping balance. It's keeping the balance. Okay.
So,
but contractions are not bad, are not wrong.
Could it be too formal?
No, perhaps it's not too formal. I think that it would be more formal, but not too formal. It's not negative. It's not
Okay.
negative. I don't
Because
think so.
like being too formal could be negative.
It's bad, of course. But I think that being too formal has to do more with vocabulary choices and greetings more than contractions.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And we will look at some examples, and I think that it will be clear for you. Okay. Remember that we're talking about commas at the beginning and commas at the end. Okay. So for example, you write your greeting. In this case, if it's dear Mr. Owens, what do you think? Is formal or informal?
Formal.
Formal, right? Okay. And you use a comma, and this is a very short email. You see? The end, the first greeting, dear Mr. Owens, and then with best wishes, comma, John Stanley, for example. Okay, so comma and comma at the end, at the beginning, sorry, and at the end. The following example, formal or informal?
Informal.
Informal, of course, just because of the hi, right? Hi, team. Many thanks for your help. See you next week. Cheers. Comma, Alice. You see that the comma goes at the beginning and the comma goes at the end, before the signature. Yeah, are we clear about this?
Yes.
Clear about it? Okay, good. So let's talk about the phrases we can use to start and finish emails. These are some examples of phrases that you can use both in formal and informal emails, okay? Dear Constanza, dear Silvio, dear Christian, etc. This is 50-50, not too informal, not too formal. Good morning. Good morning, Rocio, for example. Good morning, Constanza. You start your email with a good morning. Good morning, not morning. Good morning or good afternoon, etc. How can you finish informal/formal email? Regards, with best wishes, with many thanks and best wishes. And I'm the famous. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'm looking forward to your answer. These formulas, okay, these ones are neutral. Neutral, okay? You can use them in a neutral way, right? Are you following me? Yes, no problem?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, okay, right, good. Which phrases can we use to start and finish formal emails? Formal in a good way. I'm not saying too formal. Formal email. Dear Mr. or dear Miss. No Mrs. Okay, Miss, because you have a Mrs. which is MRS. But MRS implies that the person is married. What if you don't know if the person, whether the person is married or not? Why should I assume that, I don't know, if the person is older or it is 40 something or 50 something, the person is married? I shouldn't assume that. So one way to address a woman, and I don't know whether she is married or not, is MS. Because MS is Miss and Mrs. at the same time. It's like neutral, you see? So I recommend MS, Miss, than Mrs. or Miss, okay? The pronunciation of this is Miss. And Mr. for men, for men. There are no differences in this sense. Another way to address or to greet a person in a formal way, for example, if you're writing to a company, dear human resources manager, dear CEO, dear marketing department. That's another option. And dear sir or madam is appropriate, but some people say that it's too formal. Some people say that it's too formal, but because you may ask me, Christian, I don't know, Rocio, you may ask me, what if I don't know if I am addressing a man or a woman? You see, what should I say? Dear Mr., dear Miss? You see, if you don't know the role, for example, if you don't know the department, dear sir or madam is an option, but some people say that it's too formal. It's not wrong. I'm just saying that some people say that it's too formal. Okay, so if you can investigate and know the role of the person in the company, investigate. If you can't, I mean, find the information, go with dear sir or madam. It's not wrong, okay? But some people try to avoid it. Now, how can we finish formal emails? Rocio, help me, please, because I'm running out of breath.
Yours sincerely, yeah?
Sincerely.
Sincerely.
Very good.
How do I say?
Yours sincerely.
Yours sincerely.
Very good. The next one is? Rocio?
Yours faithfully.
Yes.
Yours
Next
truly.
one is? Yours truly and?
Oh, I cannot see it. I look forward to.
You see that, I mean, in the previous slide, we looked at phrases to start both formal and informal emails. And we have, I'm looking forward to. So I'm looking forward to is a little bit more informal than I look forward to. It's just a detail. In one you use present continuous and in the other one you use present simple. Okay? Are we clear? Are you following me, guys? Do you have any questions?
No.
No.
Everything is good.
Okay. Try to remember because we're going to play a game. Well, it's not a game, but I mean, try to remember. What phrases can we use in informal emails? Because not everything is work and studies. There is life outside the faculty, okay? And outside companies. How can I address a classmate, someone I like, I don't know, anyone, a friend?
Hi.
I can say, hi, Christian, hi, Rocio, hello, hi there. Morning, you see, morning is informal. Good morning is more formal. Afternoon, I don't know, Silvio, afternoon, Hector. Evening, Christian, you see, in the email, all right, in the email. Hello again, if it's the second or third time you are writing to the person, of course. If it's the first time, it will be a little bit weird. Hello. Yeah, hello. That's all. Hello. Greetings to start the email. How can we finish informal emails? Regards, but abbreviated. Okay. Not regards full form, but regards abbreviated. Cheers. Very common. Very common. Bye for now. See you soon. These are some examples. Of course, there are others. Okay. But these are like the basic examples of phrases to finish informal emails. Okay, so are we good up to now?
Yes.
Hector, Christian, Rocio, yes?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Very good.
So be careful with the following mistakes. Maybe you are wondering why I haven't mentioned the famous phrase to whom it may concern. Have you ever heard this phrase? Have you ever seen an email starting with to whom it may concern?
No.
Never? Really?
No.
Okay, well, it's a very, very, very common phrase. But there is a problem that when you are using this phrase, because this phrase is, you use it instead of saying dear, for example, dear Miss Urbina, right? I am trying to be more formal and I write to whom it may concern. I'm looking for a job and I write to whom it may concern. But what happens very frequently is that many people think that writing to whom it may concern is lazy, that it implies that you haven't done your research. So for example, Rocio, okay, you are looking for a job and you know the company. So if I receive your email with to whom it may concern, I may think, Rocio didn't take time to investigate the company, to see who is in charge of the, I don't know, technology department, and she just wrote to whom it may concern. You see, it implies a degree of laziness on your part.
So if I'm applying for the same, and instead of to who it might concern, I put their technology department.
That's much better.
It's kind of the same, but it's better.
It's kind of the same, but it's not the same. It's better because it's more specific.
Okay,
it's more specific.
So when you put to whom it might concern, you put dear to whom it might concern, or just to whom?
No. To whom it may concern replaces dear.
So it's also
HR.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, sometimes people use to whom it may concern, but they do not need to say dear, for example, marketing manager, because it would be redundant. To whom it may concern is a phrase that you use to avoid saying dear something.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So many people think that this implies a degree of laziness on the sentence part. So a possible solution is what I said before. Try to investigate who you are writing to. What is the designation of the person in the organization? Is it the marketing manager? Is it does this person work in the HR department? Is it the hiring manager, etc.? Okay, so try to look for the information.
So if I cannot get the information, should I put dear hiring manager? Like, yes.
Or dear sir or madam, because dear sir or madam is better than to whom it may concern.
Okay.
Right? Okay. But to whom it may concern is not essentially bad, because there are certain types of emails in which to whom it may concern is correct. And maybe you are wondering which these examples are. We can use to whom it may concern if you're writing a letter of recommendation. Imagine that you are applying for a scholarship and you're asking a professor for a letter of recommendation or reference. To whom it may concern is fine, okay? Formal complaints. You're writing to a company, you bought a product and you're complaining. To whom it may concern is okay. Letters of intent, letters of introduction. Okay, so in these contexts, to whom it may concern, written with a capital letter in each one at the beginning of each word is correct, is appropriate. Can you see the difference between one context and the other?
Yes.
Yeah, Cristian, Héctor, Silvio. Yes. Yeah, okay. Maria Pilar, yeah, can you see the change? Okay, very good. Oh, what happened? Another typical mistake. Can you laugh at me? So you're an evil student. Okay, another typical mistake is to write dear Mrs., for example, or dear Miss, and that's it, no name. For example, dear Miss, I am writing to you because of another typical mistake. Or writing dear Mrs. or dear Miss, followed by the first name. For example, dear Mrs. Constanza, if it's formal, okay? That is incorrect. Or writing dear Madam. Madam is too formal, unless the person likes to be called Madam, you see? So everything depends on the communication you have with the person. But if you're writing the email for the first time, try to avoid dear Madam, okay? Solution. As it doesn't matter if a woman is married or not, remember, instead of Mrs., use Miss. MS plus the surname. Dear Miss. Rocio, what is your surname, by the way?
Surname, it's like...
Last name.
Carrasco.
Right? So dear Miss Carrasco, you see? Miss Carrasco instead of Mrs. Carrasco. Constanza.
Yeah, I have a question. What about a person who doesn't identify as a woman or a man?
Yeah, I think that in that case, Constanza, when you are writing an email, I would choose, dear Sarah Madam. I would choose both. And then in the answer, because if you know the person, it is very likely that you know whether the person uses the pronoun he or she. Because nowadays, there are people who tell you, Constanza, for example, my name is, I don't know, Amber, and I use the pronoun she.
Yes,
Many
but
people
sometimes they say their pronouns is they.
Yeah, it's they, but in the body. How can you address the person as a they at the beginning in a greeting? Dear what? Dear Mr., dear Miss? Because Miss is for female. You see, there is no term as far as I know. I know that they is the pronoun they use. You see, it's the pronoun. But in emails, I didn't find anything to address someone who is not, I mean, it's not either a she or a he, you see? If anybody knows, I would love you to tell me, because I will be a great discovery. I couldn't find it in any of the pages I looked for. Okay, but that is a great question. That is a great question. What I would do is to use a generic term first, for example, dear sir or madam, and then when the person answers me, I would choose one pronoun, because that is why the people say pronouns, you see? For example, I'm Amber, I use he, him, or she, her. People tell you that. Okay? Because you have to choose he or she, unless you choose a it, which is weird. Okay, well, let's continue because time flies. You're welcome. If you are replying to a letter in which a woman, okay, and that this is what I told you. The tone and the greetings and the Mr., the Miss, etc., you will know for sure when the person answers. So if the person, you write Miss and the person answers Mrs., well, you know that the person wants to be called Mrs. something. Mrs., I don't know, Garraco, Mrs., I don't know, Perez, etc. Okay? And we don't generally use Miss, okay? Miss is not generally used. We use Miss, M-I-S. Sorry, MS. Right, time to practice then. I want you to practice in groups. How many people are we? Let me see. We are 7 people, including me. I think. Can you please scan the QR? Scan the QR and tell me whether you can access the word wall. Use your cell phones and scan the QR. Please tell me if you accessed it. Rocío, Héctor, Cristian, Silvio. You accessed it? Okay, right, good. So let me stop sharing. I will stop sharing. And the idea now is to have 2 groups, 2 or 3 groups. In room number 1, we will have, let me see. No. Where are you? Room number 1, Constanza. Yeah, Constanza present? Yes. Cristian, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And Héctor, are you still there?
Yes, but I have to leave, unfortunately.
Oh, no,
so
Héctor.
sorry.
Okay, but we will remember that we are recording the session, so you can watch it afterwards.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, Héctor, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so Héctor, bye-bye. Okay, so Constanza, Cristian, Rocío, are you there? Yes, Rocío. Wait. Rocío and Silvio. Silvio, are you there? Yes, okay. So what you have to do, guys, what you have to do is to use the word wall game and select the correct phrases into formal, informal, and both. Very simple. I will give you like 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes, that is all. Constanza, do you have your invitation? Yes?
It's both.
Which one?
Yours truly.
Oh, I think it's.
I think it's both, but
Yeah.
It's both?
But-
Okay, I
you
don't know.
think so?
I cannot tell you
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Me also.
But
But-
we sh-
In both, I have good morning, Amir. Greetings and dear Maria. But I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure about the.
I'm not really sure because I have yours truly, dear Miss Gonzalez, greeting. I'm looking forward to your answer. Regards with best wishes.
Oh, I put dear Miss Gonzalez in formal.
Dear Miss Gonzalez.
Formal.
Mm,
Okay, I'm
But-
going to let, I'm going to give you
Okay.
more minutes,
Yeah.
more minutes, okay? I think that we have a new student, so I'm going to go to the main room.
Yours sincerely, what it could be?
Yours
Sorry,
sincerely?
Silvio and Rosario, can you please welcome Tomas? Tomas is a new student. He's a
Okay.
little bit late, but anyway, and you tell him what we are doing, okay?
Okay, does
Thank-
he have the code?
No, but I can give it to you. Let me see. Let me wait for him.
Okay. Well, at least we can discard someone. Something. No. Algunas.
Some.
Some. In the informal, I put the longer
Oh,
ones.
Rocio, so nice to see you. My God, this is a different
I
story.
didn't want to show my face, but I
Why
have some.
not? You look. I can't see anything, Rocio. Your image is absolutely blurred.
Yeah, me also.
And your image is invisible, Silvio. Okay, I'm going to leave you this room, okay?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Tomas. Yes, we were working in groups. Yeah, and I wanted to explain it to you. Yeah.
Thanks. I'm here.
Thank you very much for joining us. Constanza, Cristian, Maria, Pilar, how are you doing? Did you finish?
No, we are
No.
having some
But
problems.
are you discussing the answers? Because the idea is to share your answers and discuss.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were trying to do
Tomás.
the activity.
I will give you the link, to show you the activity, okay?
Okay.
Where are you, Thomas? There you are. Yeah, there it is.
I see it.
Right? Okay, so I will give you 1 more minute and we check together.
Okay.
Try to discuss. If you're not sure, it doesn't matter. I mean, the idea is to discuss because this is not so easy.
Yeah. For example, yours truly, I think it's formal.
Constanza, what do you think?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it can be
Okay,
both,
but
but
try.
La pila está completa. Escándalo.
Hola. Aquí estoy.
Hi.
Hi.
Your screen sharing is paused. Stop sharing. Okay, wait. Give me 1 minute. Okay.
Ay, qué
And
bueno.
the students? What are the students?
No, I quit.
You left
but-
earlier. You left earlier.
Earlier, yes. Sí, es
Cristian
que-
is there. Welcome back,
Mira cómo
Silvio. Cristian, Rocío. Okay.
That's a very beautiful one. I want to have this game.
That is
How did you
This
do?
one.
¿Hay que subirla o...?
Yes, of course. Yes, submit. Submit.
Oh,
Okay. Let's start with formal greetings, please. Formal greetings. Can you give me examples? This is not a test. Relax, please. I'm not giving you a grade.
dear Miss Gonzalez.
Dear Miss Gonzalez. Okay, what is it? Okay, here it is. Formal. Okay, I agree. Tomás, Silvio, come on, help me. Formal first.
I look forward to hearing from you.
Very good. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, what else?
Dear sir or madam.
Dear sir or madam. Yes, I agree.
I have one.
Yes, Tomás, go ahead.
Dear hiring manager.
Dear hiring manager. What is it? I can't find
On
it.
the top.
Dear hiring manager. Very good. Come on, 3 left.
Dear marketing and branding teams.
Very good. What is it? Okay. All right, 2 left. We are running out
Yours
of time.
sincerely.
Very good, Rocío. And
Dear Mariana.
no,
No, I think it's
too close.
it's
Too close, dear Mariana. Is yours?
Truly.
truly.
Truly. Yours truly is very formal. Okay. Informal ones, please. Informal. This is easy.
Greetings.
Greetings, yes. Greetings. Here it is. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
See you soon.
Sorry?
See you soon.
I don't think that is that informal.
But I have the ticket.
Yeah, I have the ticket too.
See you soon. Okay, yeah, you're right. And where is it? There it is. Yeah, see you soon. Yes, it's informal.
Informal.
And regards
My bad.
with the
Regards.
RGDS.
Regards, but abbreviated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Hi, James.
Hello.
Hi, Rocío. Hi, James. Yes. 2 left.
Hello.
Hello. You were saying hello.
Hello, Amber.
Hello, Rocío. Nice to meet you again for the 4th time today. Okay, and the last one. Constanza, I don't know. One left.
Afternoon.
Silvia?
Yes.
Afternoon. Yes. I have a student whose name is Yale. So Yale, this is for you. But Yale is not here. Okay, so both we have regards, we have good morning, we have I'm looking forward to your answer, best, with many thanks and best wishes, dear and the name, and with best wishes. Let's submit the answers. Am I right? Oh my God, this sounds so good. Very good. Okay. I don't want competition, so I'm not going to show the leaderboard. All right, guys. Very good. My God, it's 7:20. Let's talk about the body very, very quickly. The body. Those things we should do when we are writing our emails. First thing, Silvio, please do not get distracted.
It must have a clear and specific purpose. IG, getting feedback on a presentation or arranging a meeting with a client.
Right. So e.g., remember that is for example. Yeah. For example, getting feedback. Okay. So clear, to the point, specific. These are do's, shoulds. All right. Tomás.
Yes.
Can you please read the second one? The second do?
Should be concise. Specificity is the key. If possible, only a few sentences.
It depends on the email, of course. It depends. Everything depends, right, on the purpose, on the addressee, etc. But in general, one thing you should always try to do is to be specific, okay? Next one, Rocio, please.
If you need to give more detail, keep it as focused as you can.
Very good. Constanza.
Every sentence you write in an email must end with a punctuation mark, e.g., period, exclamation mark, for example, exclamation mark, question mark.
Very good. Okay, so we shouldn't left sentences with no ending, with no punctuation mark. And the last one, and I think this is the most important, Christian.
Yes, it has to be the tone appropriate. For example, formal emails make use of formal words, use full words, use passive voice more often, and sentences tend to be more complex. On the other hand, informal emails use common words, phrasal verbs, short forms, and sentences are short and simple.
I'm going to show you, thank you very much, Christian. I'm going to show you 2 examples to illustrate this, okay? It would take us at least 2 more classes to explain the difference between, I don't know, formal language and informal language, because that is too much, all right? But I just want to show you a couple of examples so that you understand how the choice of words make your email more or less formal, okay? These are 2 photographs. On the first photograph, you have, okay, I'm going to ask, read the email, please. Read the email and tell me whether you think this is a formal or an informal email.
Informal.
How do you know, Rocio?
To find out, like the phrasal verb, aptemo, it's a short form. They promoted me, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's like, it's too direct. They promoted me because I'm so good. Yeah, to the role manager, like active voice, you see?
And the uni?
Uni instead of university, right? Christian, Tomás, Constanza, do you agree with Rocio? Yeah? Silvio, you too?
Yes.
Right, so in general, phrasal verbs tend to be more informal than, for example, words that come from the Latin. That is why sometimes for us it's easy to understand papers and to understand formal language in English, because English, right, has many words that come, etymologically speaking, come either from Latin, when Romans invaded Britain, or from the French, because the Normans also invaded Britain, right? So we have many words in English that come from the Latin, but these words tend to be more formal because the people who spoke French in Britain and the people who spoke Latin were, literates, were people who were in the high classes, not the peasants. So peasants, common people, poor people in England spoke like English, you see, Saxon, Jutes, etc. And that is why formal language in English tends to be like this: enquire, for example, vacancies. These are like formal choices of words. Can you see the difference between one and the other? Yeah, okay. Right, let's continue because time is limited. What things we shouldn't do? Tomás, you have a question.
Yes, please. Can you show us the first one, please? Just
first email. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I see. Yes, I just wanted to see it again.
Okay, right. No problem. No problem. We should avoid doing the following things. Constanza, can you please help me?
If formal, avoid the slang terms and emojis.
And emojis, right? Even if you love emojis, try to avoid them. Okay. Second thing we should avoid, Silvio.
Avoid repeating yourself. Using the same word several times in sentences that are next to each other make it difficult to understand. Like most writing, a lot of it depends on your goals.
For example, I don't know, you are writing and you choose the word confuse, and then you use confusion. So instead of using confusion, or recommendation, try to use a synonym. Because if you use the same choice of words, it will sound like if you are repeating yourself. So that is why specificity is key, to the point. English is different, works differently from Spanish. In English, go to the point. Next thing that we should avoid, and Rocio, yes, I think that you asked about this at the beginning, right? Rocio.
Do not overuse abbreviation. For example, for your information, but it's like F
Y
I O O O,
which is out of office. Yeah,
out of office. What is HTH?
Hope that helps.
Ah, okay, etc.
Or SA as soon as possible, SASP, yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
etc., right? Like it says, don't overuse them. I mean, using SASP is fine one time, yeah, or for your information is fine. But like using 2, 3, 4 abbreviations like this in one email is like too much. Because everything depends on keeping the balance. It's not 0 or 100, it's keeping balance, okay? Right? And what about capitalization, Silvio? Should we capitalize every single word?
No.
We shouldn't. We shouldn't. And I'm so sad that Hector is not here, but if I'm honest, I would avoid using or writing words in capital letters. Because as Rocio said, I think it was you, Rocio, or Constanza, I don't know, it's like shouting or yelling at the person. Like, remember with capital letters, it's like rude. Okay? I wouldn't use capital letters. Now, of course, you need to use capital letters if you are starting a sentence, if you are writing a proper name, the name of a company, etc. But writing one word, each one of the letters in capital letters, no, I would avoid it. Okay. And finally, do not overuse exclamation marks. Okay, guys, it's 7:28. I know that you have things to do, but this is the last activity. No, this is not the last activity. We have one more thing. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Even if we are like, I don't know the word. If you are saying like many thanks, we cannot use animate.
Oh well, that's different but it depends on the tone, Silvia. Because if you are writing to a person who you know, I don't think that is bad. Everything depends on the relationship you have with the person.
Because I have wrote exclamation marks, but in thank you for your help or things like that. To professor that I don't know.
But you mean exclamation marks or capitalization or capital?
No, exclamation marks.
Oh no, but exclamation marks are not bad. The thing is that do not overuse them. It's not like, dear Silvio, exclamation mark. How are you? Exclamation mark. Yeah, that's I mean what they say that we shouldn't do.
Okay, I understand.
No, but thank you very much, an exclamation mark is fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. The last question, or one of the questions that I asked you at the beginning said, do you check your emails before sending them? And Silvio, Hector said, yes, sometimes, usually. Well, why is it important to read emails or reread emails when we send them before sending them? Is because many people, or well, not many people, but many emails have typos. And typos, when the mail is formal, is not really convenient. Okay. For example, this word. What does this word mean? Do you know this word in English? Tomás, do you know the word? What's wrong with this word? Oh, I can't hear you, Tomás. I think that you have a problem or not. Are you speaking? No, you are not speaking.
No, I wasn't speaking.
Okay.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah,
It's
Christian said.
the letter A.
Letter A, yeah. So it's definitely separate and until with one L.
Yes.
Sometimes softwares do not work. So do not rely on Gmail. Do not rely entirely on DeepL. What do you use, Silvia? DeepL, right? DeepL Translate? Yeah. There may be mistakes. Solution anyway? Well, Grammarly is a good option. Yeah, Silvia uses Grammarly. There is a free version and a paid version, like better version. I think that Jorge uses Grammarly, which is very good. Language Tool. Yeah, Language Tool is another application. Can you see internet? Yeah. This is Language Tool.
No.
So, no?
No, we see just the slide.
Oh, but wait. Here it is. Yeah, this is Language Tool. So you can copy and paste your email here. And can you see it or not?
Yeah.
Just
and you see, I mean, if there are any typos or punctuation mistakes, etc. Constanza, you have a question.
Not so much as a question. Just yesterday I had to write an email to someone important. Oh, and it was so difficult find the right words and sentences, and then I tried to use the help of ChatGPT. And I said to him, please improve this email. And it improved the email, but it make it so formal that it was really weird to read.
Yeah.
So still I had to cut some part or change words.
Of course. But you edit it, and that's good. I mean, I think that ChatGPT is a good option. It's a good option as long as you have some knowledge of the language. You see, the problem is when we don't have any knowledge, because, for example, if I ask ChatGPT to write an email in French, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to correct it. You see, so we need to have a certain level in the language to use artificial intelligence appropriately. But it's a good idea. I mean, you did something great. I mean, you used it and then you edited. Perhaps you cut the parts that didn't make any sense to you. And that's good. Did you receive a reply?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. Okay.
The person is not offended. The person replied, so that is good. Objective. Okay, guys. So I think that we're going to skip this practice, but I'm going to show it to you. Oh, we can do it. Okay, let's do it together. Give me 1 sec. Can you see word wall?
No, just the PPT.
No? Oh, gosh. Okay. Stop sharing then again. Okay. This is very, very simple. Please tell me the sentences that are do's and the sentences that are don'ts. For example, many words are repeated in the message. That is something we should or shouldn't.
Don't.
Okay. It's tone appropriate, not too casual or formal.
Do's.
Good. Every word is capitalized.
Don't.
I see Constanza. No, Dean. All sentences end with a punctuation mark.
Do's.
Yes.
It's intention focused. The message is clear.
Do's.
Typos.
Don'ts.
Of course, yeah. It has a lot of exclamation marks.
No.
Don'ts.
Don't.
Yeah. It has many abbreviations.
Don'ts.
All right, this is easy. You see, it's organized.
Do's.
Do's.
Okay, very good. All right. Okay, so let's go back to our last activity. And I promise that this is the last one. We're going to read some emails very quickly. You don't need to understand everything. Just read the email and tell me whether you think is a good or a bad example of email writing and why. Okay, I will give you a minute. Read it carefully, right? And tell me whether you think this is a good or a bad example. Okay, Cristana, I understand. I will solve this the next time. Promise.
I think this is a good example.
This is a good example. Why?
Because it's short, is very specific. The end and the beginning are very not too formal, but very good.
Yeah, and you will have the comma you see here at the beginning. We have another comma at the end. There are no, I don't know, sentences without a punctuation mark. Yeah, Tomás, Silvio, do you agree? Yes.
Yes, I think it's very clear, but I'm not sure if it's informal or formal email.
I think this is neutral. I would say that this is neutral. This is not too formal, not too informal. I think this is like a typical example of an email. You see, Simona, is writing to a language school. The language school is not like writing to a very big, very important professor at MIT, you see? So I think it's neutral, but formal. What about this one? Look at, I don't know, pay attention to detail, pay attention to punctuation, pay attention to...
Bad example.
Silvio, why? Tell us why.
Circumstances.
Okay. Okay. Typos. Okay. Any other reason?
The capital letters.
Okay,
Punctuation.
very good. Punctuation, very good. What about greetings? Okay, it's too long, maybe. And what about hello and best regards? Doesn't make any sense. Best regards and hello? Not really. So we have many typos. Many typos. We have greetings that do not make any sense. Best regards with hello, and perhaps it's formal, informal. Sarah, what about the last name? What about punctuation? Yeah, no stops. What about capital letters? Okay, so this is a bad example of an email. All right, next one. This is the penultimate one. Please read it.
I think it's a good example, but informal.
A good example of an informal email, yes? Tomás,
Yes.
Constanza, Rocío, do you agree?
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
Christian?
I agree.
Yes, I
You
agree.
agree? Yes, it's a good example of an informal email. Happy face. Last email. Good. Bad example. Why?
Bad example.
Why? I can't see any other typos, for example.
But it's
I think it
says
is
to who you're writing to.
Okay, Constanza, very good. And who am I writing to?
It's someone he just met. And in the end, he says he's the biggest fan.
Yes, like, please do not exaggerate. Okay, I know that I'm a good professional, but a fan, really? Yeah, very good, Constanza. Yes, this is someone.
Exclamation marks?
Exactly, Rosia, too many exclamation marks. I think that is a little bit, I mean, inappropriate to address someone as your biggest fan when we just met the person. Is absolutely inappropriate. Yeah, I wouldn't write this even to a friend. Well, maybe after many years. Okay, so that's the end, guys. It's been, I mean, it's 7:41. 7:41. I don't know if you have any questions, any comments. Cristian, Constanza, Rocio, Silvio. No? So do you think that you have at least basic knowledge of email writing, greetings, punctuation, phrases, choice of vocabulary, tools you can use to write emails, Grammarly, language tool, ChatGPT, right? Cristian, Silvio.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So guys, before you go, can you please answer the survey? I'm going to give you the link. Let me give you the link. I will copy it and put it in the chat. It won't take you more than 1 minute, I promise. No more than 1 minute, but it's very important for us to receive your answers. Okay, no more than 1 minute. So please tell me when you're ready. Well, Tomas joined us like 40 minutes later, but that's okay. He joined us again. Please tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, thank you very much, Constanza. So let us know.
For a moment, I tried to answer in English. I was like, no, the question is in Spanish. I can answer in Spanish.
You can answer in English, Constanza. You can. And I'm so happy to see you today. I haven't seen you for a long time, I think. For a long time. Yeah.
Yes.
And Rocio, the same. The same. Happy to see you.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
I finished.
So I would love to see you. I mean, next time, I don't know, in another workshop. It's been a pleasure to have you today. And I hope that this basic knowledge helps you in the future. Okay?
Yes.
So thank you very
Thank you
much,
so much.
guys. Have a lovely, lovely day and a lovely
Thank
week.
you a lot.
Bye. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
very much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.